Hey guys, so I decided to show you a second nose mouth worksheet just because I know some of you might want to try this one and you wanted to figure out how to have an open smile showing teeth that does not look like chiclet gum pieces or something like that. So I already had this picture drawn out and I'm just going to let it run through a little bit so you can see how I shade things and how I address the teeth so they do not look like harsh outlines or, like I said, like little gum candy pieces inside of the mouth. So I'm just going to let it run a little bit so you can see how I do this. So you'll notice that I am erasing the lines, the hard lines that were shown between each individual tooth. And I am also beginning to shade the gum line, making sure that it's a different value from the upper lip so they still have a nice divide and they don't blend into one another. As I'm going into the gum line, I'm also making sure that I'm placing a little triangular shape in between each tooth to represent how the gum line kind of fills those little gaps in between. So letting you get a closer look to see what that looks like. Notice I have those super dark spaces below the teeth to show that there's a small opening where the tongue would be. It's a deep dark shadow, so I'm trying to make that look more pronounced. And just making sure that gum line kind of goes in and make it look very defined there. I'm going in now and I'm placing some of the line work back in, but you have to make sure that it's so light that it doesn't look harsh in your drawing. It doesn't give you that weird candy vibe. It has to be nice and subtle if you're going to add those lines back in. I'm going to continue filling in the lip area, but I also remembered that there are some lower teeth visible, so I'm kind of carving those back in. They're super subtle in that space. There's only a few that's showing, so I am kind of showing gaps between each individual set to make them stand out, placing some of my lines into my teeth and darkening the smile corners of this mouth. I'm just going to keep working back and forth with this until it gets complete. So the teeth are finished. I don't think I plan to darken this face anymore. I still have the worksheet and I thought about going back because you'll see at the end that my version is a little bit lighter than the original copy, and that's, to me, that's okay. If yours ends up coming out not as dramatically dark as the actual photo, that's fine, as long as you're showing me a good push of 4 to 5 values and you are placing in those values around the proper areas they need to go to. So last thing I will say before I just let this video play out the rest of the way is that make sure you are showing this mustache growing out of this guy's face. So I had an odd outline representing where the mustache was meant to be. I kind of lightly erased that, and I'm now placing the hair in those spaces, making short, quick line strokes, and making sure I'm also getting the direction of that hair growth in the proper place. So you'll see in a few moments that I lost a bit of the footage and the left side of his face will be magically complete. But it was just the continuation of his mustache, and then you see I'm finishing the details on the left side of his nose and his cheek. And I just wanted to say that I really could continue with the values and shading on here, making it darker to represent the darker values in the actual image. And maybe I will on my own personal time, but for this tutorial, the purpose was to help you address the values in the mouth and the teeth area, and also to get the mustache placed in properly. So I hope it was helpful, and I will have another video for you guys soon.